What's up guys, Zaid here, and today I've got a sad deck profile for you. I don't actually like calling this deck sad, I like calling it Brave Red Rose, but everyone on the internet calls it sad, so I'll call it sad. I also have two combos I'm going to show you guys like how I'm going about doing plays in this deck. And I heard people saying that they thought this deck was kind of dead, so I figured I'd do a video just showcasing the direction I think it's going to go. And you guys, if you're looking at the list, you're probably not surprised. There's a Scythe in it. I feel like a lot of decks right now are going to gear towards Scythe. Like, we've kind of been doing this at the start of almost every format. We gear towards Scythe after a ban list, and then people start playing around Scythe, and then we find new boards and stop playing Scythe. But for now, I feel like, especially with the inclusion of Jet Synchron in the format, Scythe boards are just the easiest low-cost investment board to make with the highest impact. And I'm going to show you, like, we don't just end on that. We also end on, like, a lot of other stuff with the same standard combos. So I'm going to go really quick over the list because it's mainly standard aside from what I've added. And then I'll show you the combos. So 3 Water Enchantress, 3 Right, 2 Faithful, 2 Wandering Griffin Rider. Obviously 3/3 on the good ones. 2/2 on these. Yeah, I played 2 because of Ogre, but Ogre's not as important anymore. But this card's still just good to draw, so it's probably worth playing. I was going to say same with Griffin Rider. You could cut this card to 1 if you want, I think. But if you do, it makes the grind game of the deck worse, and it already lost Celestial Dasher follow-up. So I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. Next we have 2 Souls, 2 Illusion. I also am playing Prosperity, and those cards like kind of conflict. But the way I kind of see it is that if you Prosperity into the Souls, Souls is just an extender, which through a hand trap is fine. And if you Souls into a, like, use Souls draw into a Prosperity, you were getting rid of the Equip spell and the Faithful Adventure, so you're getting free anyways. And like, so it's fine to use the Prosperity as follow-up. But you could also like either cut Prosperity or cut down on the Souls package. The main reason I initially played 2/2 was back like when we still had 3 Red Rose. It comboed very well together, being able to summon the Souls and normal Red Rose. But now with it at 1, I could see a case to cut these to 1 and 1. Next, I've got the 3 Prosperity. Like I said, that card's good. Now the Red Rose package, which is 3 one-ofs, sadly. 1 Red Rose, 1 Rocks Rose, 1 Basil Rose Shoot. These cards are still crazy, and you summon them off Hulk. So, like, it's okay that it's at 1. Yeah, you would love to draw this card. It's a crazy card to draw. And because of that, I also put in 3 Small World. Let me move these jaunts up here. Small World is, like, nuts in this deck because you get to search the Red Rose, but if you already have Red Rose, you get to search the Water Enchantress. And I'm pretty sure the hand traps just get you to these. Although technically, I don't think they get you to Red Rose. So, you know what? I think it might have been an error to put this in the deck. I'm not 100% sure, but I need to find a line to do this. I might have to find a bridge, but it's a good thing I'm recording this so I can ask you guys to help me. So, for real, help me find a good bridge for this. But aside from that, well, maybe it is actually, because if any hand trap goes into Souls, which goes into that. So yeah, I think the Small World bridges actually work, but if you have suggestions on it, let me know. But then 1 Foolish, it's just a 4th Water Enchantress. But I'm also playing Jet Synchron and Snow, so it's very versatile. 1 Called by the Grave, the card's like a power card. It's a little less of a power card now because it used to be crazy. It's still kind of crazy going second. Because against Despia, you still hit what they target with Branded in Red. So it's still very good in that regard, but now you're not hitting a DPE, so it's a little weaker there. Next, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm. Bell and Veiler aren't the strongest hand traps in the world. I think Imperm and DD Crow are just like consistently a little better than these cards, but these ones are tuners, which is important to go into Helki Fibrax. Then I'm also playing Triple Droplet. Like I said, I think that for the next 30 days, you should probably main 3 Droplet in every deck you play. I think that it's maybe not even 30 days, but at least up until the YCS, I think every deck is going to be a Scythe deck. And then we play the 1 Snow, the 1 Dracoback, the 1 Jet, and then the 1 Scythe. And then the extra deck, we play the Limited Hulk, the Herald of the Arclight. This card maybe is going to get cut. It depends on how often it comes up with Magician Souls, but this card might get cut for this Rudy Rose I have up here in the like my idea section. Then I got Shooting Riser, Baron, Access Code, Asa, Lina, Dark, FA Dawn Dragster. This card also might be leaving the list now, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I need to like actually test this more. Like I said, guys, the last deck profile, BANLIST came out today. This is me giving ideas, and then we all can like test them and talk and theory craft together. Then I got Celine, Unicorn, Sword Soul Supreme, Sovereign, Chengyang. This card is very important, along with these cards also. Wonder Magician, Dagda, Link, Karibo. These are like the new bread and butter for this deck, I think. And I'm going to show you guys why that is real quick. I'm going to go to my first replay. This replay is for the opening of when you have the Brave engine plus an extender and a hand trap or a tuner, any tuner, that gets you into Hulk. So basically a way to make Hulky Fibrax plus the Brave combo. This in the deck prior to this hit is one of the two lines that comes up the most. It's either Brave plus Red Rose or Brave plus Tuner non-tuner, and I'm going to show you both of those lines now. And so we activate right, gets us the token and the Fateful. We special water. We're going to search the equip, and then we're going to search Griffin, pitch the equip. I'm going to just hit that. Boom. Equip the equip, special Griffin, and then normal the hand trap. Now we're going to make Hulk. Hulk is going to get us the Red Rose like usual. We're going to synchro for Baron. And from here is where it's going to start to deviate after we get our... Actually, it technically doesn't deviate yet. We're going to Rocks Rose, search Basil Rose. We're going to sink into the Shooting Riser. Why did they put this card to 1? No, if you ever have played 2 of this in a deck in your life, let me know in the comments. But I don't think anybody's ever played 2 of this card. But it's at 1. Maybe they thought we were gonna. But we're going to use it. We're going to dump Snow, making it level 3. The level doesn't really matter. Then we're going to Basil Rose shoot out the Rocks Rose. We're going to make the Artifact Dagda. And then I believe from here we just pass. And so on their turn, during their main phase, you're thinking this ain't that much. It's a Baron and a Snow. But you use the Hulky Fibrax on their main phase. Chainlink 2 Dagda, set Scythe. And technically, the way this will end up being executed, your opponent has priority in the main phase to do the first action. So they're going to place a card, and you're probably going to chain Dagda to that to set the Scythe. And then you could also chain Hulk to that. But in an instance where for some reason they just pass priority, I'm just showing you without knowing what their cards are how this would like be sequenced. And so we're going to set the Scythe. We're going to summon the TG Wonder Magician. And I'm going to pop Scythe. Scythe is going to bring itself back out. And then we're going to use Magician's Effect to synchro with Scythe. And so now they're locked out of the extra deck. We're going to summon Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Chang Ying. And this card is kind of cracked here because we have Snow. We get to force the activation of this whenever we want. Also, this line, technically this Water Enchanter shouldn't be in the grave. I was a little sloppy because I was just running through the combo. I should have used this to add right back. But the fact that I didn't, could almost be like a strat here, because if you leave it in the grave on your turn, you can banish it to also force Chang Ying's activation on your turn. But here, so if our opponent was to stop the Scythe somehow, say they had the droplet and they were able to stop, if they dropleted everything, we'd still have Snow, and if they just droplet the Scythe, then we have the Baron, and if they droplet Scythe Baron, we still have the Chang Ying Snow. And this, if the Scythe resolves too, this is still really strong because they're going to set some cards and you're going to be able to clean those cards up and then just go about the game. And the cool thing also about this end board is just like the DPE board, it is very strong going into either a combo deck or a back row deck. Because if they're playing combo, they lost to the Scythe. If they're playing back row and they set 5 pass, you're... Yeah, I was about to say you could use this on their end phase. It depends on if they did something. If they play a Prosperity or an Extravagance, put a card in grave. Because I think this has to... Yeah, it has to do field and grave. But even if they do have a card in grave, you could summon Snow, banish a card from their field, banish a card from their grave. And if they don't, you just don't do that. But when the turn passes to you, you use Baron's effect to pop a card. And then Baron is also going to be able to negate a card, so you trade with 2 back row. And now that a card's in grave, you can use Chang Ying, which will let you trade with a 3rd back row, because you'll just activate the Scythe, or not the Scythe, the Snow, and then chain Chang Ying, banish a card. And also, he has protection, so it's really strong there too, because if he's destroyed, you banish instead. And now the second combo gets you to the exact same end board, but it's when you open the Red Rose on the right. Also, you need a card to discard. I forgot to put that in my hand, so bear with me on that. But same start, we're going to summon the token, grab Faithful, normal summon, search, equip, get rid of the equip to search Griffin, special Griffin, synchro Baron, special, search. And from here's where it deviates a little bit. We're going to go synchro 7 for the Riser, send the Snow. And now we're going to use Basil Rose for Rocks Rose. And now we have to go into the Hulk. And we are still trying to get to a Dagda. So the thing we're going to summon off the Hulk is the newly unbanned Jet Synchron. We're going to turn Jet Synchron into Link Haribo. And then we're going to use Jet Synchron's effect, discard a card, which again I forgot to put, I'm sorry, special itself. And then turn those into the Dagda. And now on their turn, same thing. We get to do this. Also, I didn't show it on my other replay. I think I didn't go all the way through the replay, so I'm going to go back to it. But you also, if you don't want to make Chang Ying, if you want to play Rudy Rose Dragon, that could be a very viable card too, because when it's synchro summoned, you banish all cards from both graveyards, which kind of sucks, but you would probably do it after you resolve a snow and you don't have much going on in your own. And if you're against a deck that puts a lot of stuff in grave, like Despia or something, you can clear their grave, and it's just another option. So that's the list. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you've watched this far, I probably should have done the start of the video, but your boy's got a sponsor now, Tsunami Mats. You guys should check them out. The link's in the description. And they're a cloth playmat company. They got a couple unique designs, and they also do customs. Promo code ZadeSlater5 gets you 5% off at checkout. And it directly supports me, so if you do it, I appreciate it, and thank you guys for watching.